Hello, this is Sean Fry 3B Comics, and I have a really special 3B podcast for you today. This is my collection of comics, both the, both my early books, early collection of like DC books when I first got into creating comics. To this pile right here is every comic I've created since I was 12. This pile right here, and then over here is like all the recently modern books from when I took it seriously to at the bottom of the stash are new current books. And I just wanted to show a really cool evolution of just where I came from in comics and just my love of comics. And this is the beginning of like everything so far of Biff Bam Boom Comics. And this was the cool like Nightwing issues that I had collected, like when my dad would take me to the fantasy shop here in St. Louis, and there I just collect Nightwing. He is the first character I fell in love with that sparked all this, and just wanted to show off all that. And then I got these recently, some old X-Men issues. Like I found these it was like at a school, like it was like in a collection of like books that they were giving away, and I found some really cool old comics, some old X-Men comics, and they kind of weathered, falling apart a little bit, but I still got them just for the sake of them. I still collect them even if they kind of damaged. They just add to my collection of stuff. And all this early X-Men and a few modern books, like a modern Superman book, another X-Men with Cable on it. It's like a Vampire Diaries. They came with that early. That modern Superman book. But yeah, this is like the cool little collection I have so far, and I'm slowly collecting old issues, new issues of like old Marvel DC books. As at the same time as making new stuff. And this is a shout out to a indie comic company that called Gateway Comics. I had to get their book too, added to the stash. And then like a recent Batman Eternals book. And that's pretty much my stash of Marvel and DC and a few indies that I don't have like on the table. And then this book right here is my very first ever book. This is Electroman. This is my very first character I ever created back when I was 12. I had a whole 16 issue run of him, all the books in here. It's a complete stack of him. 16 issues of just him, and then other cool characters I brought up. Like I revived my girl Stella. She just came out. Had to revive her. She's come a long way from when I first did her. And then Night Eagle, my character Night Eagle. Yeah, and then I did so much. I had a second issue of Stella too. And then just issue after issue, covers falling off, a few of them. Carmella, Electroman. My first ever attempt at a zombie book called The Return is I revamped this one to Why Us now. It's been revamped. And then from here I have a whole bunch of other titles. I call them like the Global Raiders. This is like my Guardians that I did. The character Dark Star. Like my Batman type of character. And yeah, these just issue after issue. I was just brainstorming and coming up with cool ideas, and I just kept creating Elektra. This is Electroman's daughter. I did so much. And then a friendly face right here. This is the original Youth Mob book that I created. They have evolved so much from when I first created them. Yeah, they've come so far. Because Amara wasn't even part of this when I first created. It was just 5. Yeah, but Youth Mob has come a long way, and it's not done evolving yet. Yeah, and Electro Man. Yeah, and I would just staple these books together, put them together, draw them, and get to work. It's one character I think I'm gonna bring back later. Gonna retool him, revamp him. My character Gunner Arch, I'm gonna revamp him. And then my first ever stretchy character I created called him Slinger. And Night Eagle had a bunch of issues. And my second return book. And my character Achilles Alexander, we revamped him. He's coming real soon too. We revamped him. Our space. He's like time traveling barbarian type of book. I revamped him. And yeah, and I did crossover issues with characters. Yeah, and pretty much this whole pile is Electro Man. Because I was stuck on this character. I was like, I'm gonna keep making. And we revamped him, Vandergrim. We revamped him. And my character Nova Phoenix is like a cross of Angel and like Johnny Storm. Yeah, and that's the whole pile of 3B since I was 12 when I was just doing books for myself. I was just making cool ideas, concepts, characters, and building the world. And now that I'm older now, I'm retooling most of these books because these are great stories. And I'm retooling everything, putting it together, and creating something special for everybody. This is just a taste of my passion, my love for comics, animation. It's wrapped up in all of this. And now we're like slowly getting to the more modern stuff. Like these books right here. Like this when I first was learning how to publish books. This is 2018 when I was doing all the artwork. Yeah, I keep these in my box because it just reminds me of how far I've come and where I'm going. And this is the original story of Otto and his brother Waco. And I sold a few of these actually, like my shows. I'll sell a bunch of these books. Because people could just see the passion and love that I was putting into them. Yeah, and these books are like, this is my first graphic novel I did. I got printed up. We revamping this story. Right here, this is a whole collection. This is like 105 pages of a graphic novel. Yeah, with extra covers. This is when Team Apex first came together. We told a fraction of this story, and this is our character, Ivan. He's evolved too now. Yeah, and then the Natural Lights, Team Apex. Yeah, and we're gonna redo this story. This is an amazing story that is getting redone. Like, in the next couple years or so, this graphic novel is getting redone. It's going to be called The Amara Agenda. This is the blueprint right here for that story. It's an amazing story. Can't spoil too much, but it's going to be really good once it gets done and it's finished. Then this is the newest Youth Mob. Like this was Youth Mob before my dad came on. This is when I first came up with the concept of them. I did like a shorthand video of like this when I first did it, but this is when they were the way I did them. They were a lot younger than they are like now. I had them around 13. They were preteens coming up, and this is the spinoff of like the graphic novel right here. And this is them growing up, Otto, Loco, Ivan, my Nick Fury type of character, and yeah, they've evolved. Like Youth Mob has evolved since this, and I keep this because this reminds me of how far they're gonna keep evolving. Like you're gonna see older versions of them. That's how far we have this lined up for them, and the best is yet to come with this team because we continue to write stories for them every day. Like there's new stories for them at all points. And then this is the 3-pack book, and it was just all the stories like Night Eagle right here. I was doing everybody's like origin story, and I've sold a lot of these books. Like I have like a handful of these left. I think printed like 25 of these, and I have maybe 6 or 7 of this one, and then I can't find the other one. Then the second part to this that's somewhere in this pile. It is. I got a handful of those left, and this was in 2018 when I was just the head artist. It's my Electroman book, and when I redone from the very first one in this pile, I redid it, touched it up. Yeah, and yeah, these are all amazing stories. Eventually we gonna get to eventually. Carmela. It's like she dated Electroman, and she's a really cool character. She's one of my very first leading lady characters in 3B Comics right here. That like t-shirts sold to her and everything, and we're gonna revisit all of them like later on. Like you get to see them. She's in like one of her modern appearances is in Stella book. In the Stella book right here, she made her it's a recent appearance, and she's gonna appear more and more as like the universe continues to build. And now we get to Team Apex. This is the retelling of this graphic novel right here. This is like the fraction of this graphic novel. Fraction of this graphic novel. We redid it, retold it, and this is just basically the apex of me and my dad coming together and putting comics together now. And he's like the main artist now, and I'm the writer, storyteller, and I'm putting the books together. And then it's our second one, Natural Lights, who was also in this graphic novel right here. And this was like this is my crossover, this is my crisis type of book. It's a lot of history and lore of the 3B universe that we're gonna retell from this and put into the 6 books when Cody come out of just 3B Comics. And from them we jump into Youth Mob. Youth Mob was next in the row after Team Apex and Natural Lights. We get to the first Youth Mob issue. This is the first graphic novel that me and my dad put together. There's like 70 pages of just a story, but 90 overall if you count just the whole page count with ads and stuff is 90. And then we followed it up with the next issue, which is the first of. This is the first one in our. Like we did an actual like sequel to. This is the first sequel in the 6 books that we've done so far. And then from there, you get to the leading lady now, Stella. I've been told so far that she is very popular now. I knew she was an amazing character. Was going to be a fan favorite. I just knew it when I first made her. I was like, okay, this is the cool story I wanted to tell her. Like my dad was like at the beginning, he was like, I don't know, a love story with them, and we gotten a few reviews from it. She's a smash hit. They want to see more of her to come, and the pile is not complete yet. Coming soon, and we plan on having them shipped out they had planned on having the book done by December, but shipped out by January, and that would be my the bad boy Cody, the legendary outlaw hero Cody Valiant. I can't wait to add him to the pile because he is the first. I say the first one that was brainchild of like me and my dad. Like he came up with the name. We put them together like from scratch. Like the rest of them. The rest of the characters I've shown you come from my original pile of comics and just the lore. And Cody is the first one that is ours put together. And we have so many more comics and ideas and things coming together. And the best is yet to come from 3B Comics. So I just did this little shorthand video for you. Rambled a little bit, showed you my collection, my little short box of comics and collectibles. So this is Sean Fry 3B Comics checking out, and we have best is yet to come from Biff Bam Boom Comics. So Sean Fry signing out. Peace.